The claim that there are no decent games on mobile devices is unfair, if only for the simple reason that so far many great projects have been ported to these platforms from PC. Below is a list of top games ported from PC to Android, which included both old and new games of various genres. GTA 3. A legendary game ported from PC to Android in 2011 called Grand Theft Auto 3 10-Year Anniversary Edition. This edition was released in honor of the 10th anniversary of the famous series. She received improved textures and many other visual improvements, and also acquired an official multiplayer. Recall that GTA 3 was the first game in the series, which received a fully three-dimensional graphics with a third-person view, and the open city of Liberty City, the prototype of which was the American metropolis of New York. The Talos Principle is a first-person puzzle game originally released on PC and later successfully ported to Android and iOS devices. The hero of the game is a humanoid robot who, all alone, explores the ruins of an abandoned world, solves puzzles, and tries to find answers to eternal philosophical questions. In total, the game features more than 100 different puzzles, pushing the hero robot to the correct use of drones, laser systems, time manipulators, and other amazing high-tech gadgets. Final Fantasy V. One of the best parts of the Final Fantasy series, ported to Android in its original form, but with slightly better graphics. The benchmark 2D JRPG, sold in millions of copies worldwide. Here, players will find an excellent, intriguing storyline with a large number of various characters, interesting gameplay with an original role-playing system, and amazing aesthetics of a fabulous anime fantasy. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. A port of the famous fairy tale game whose delightful story was written by a professional Swedish writer and screenwriter. Actually, it was the touching plot of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons that brought her popularity and helped win more than 50 of the most prestigious gaming awards. The heroes of the game are two brothers who went in search of the legendary Tree of Life in order to save their seriously ill father with its help. Max Payne Mobile is the name of the mobile version of the legendary third-person shooter, which managed to conquer the owners of Android devices while not making any major changes to its original gameplay, but only adapting the existing advantages to the capabilities of smartphones and tablets. High resolution and high FPS, convenient responsive controls, beloved detective story at the heart of the plot. All this will definitely not leave indifferent either the loyal fans of the franchise or the players who first launched this notorious shooter. Civilization VI. An excellent mobile adaptation of the famous turn-based strategy, released in 2020, and immediately with all the add-ons available for it. The game is paid, but it is possible to try out a special free version with some restrictions. One of the most serious strategies on Android, however, offering immodest requirements for the hardware of a smartphone or tablet. But it's worth it because the game is not only interesting for its strategic aspect, but also incredibly beautiful in the visual part. Machinarium, a two-dimensional quest about a glorious robot who is trying to find and save his girlfriend on an unusual planet, consisting of all sorts of rubbish and winding mechanisms with gears and nuts. The game catches with its atmosphere, unusual art, and classic gameplay for the genre, where you need to collect all sorts of items at the levels and then look for their use on interactive environmental objects. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. A ported version of the iconic turn-based strategy game with modern HD quality graphics. Also in the game, the textures were redrawn and the animation was corrected where necessary. The game contains many scenarios and maps for single player, many factions and units, a dynamic level of difficulty, and much more. There is even a hot seat mode that many people love, which supports up to 3 people playing simultaneously on one device. Dead by Daylight Mobile. Mobile version of the famous online horror about supernatural maniacs and their victims. Like the original game, Dead by Daylight Mobile features a large selection of characters that can be upgraded, customized, and equipped with a variety of in-game items that affect the way you play. The choice of maniacs is especially pleasing, many of which are transferred to the Dead by Daylight franchise from cult films and horror games. The game has an asymmetric 1 versus 4 gameplay, fully adapted to the capabilities of mobile gadgets. Ark: Survival Evolved. An amazing island with dinosaurs has fallen in love with a huge number of survival game fans on PC. Therefore, it is not surprising that after that a ported version of the game Ark: Survival Evolved appeared, endowed with slightly less detailed, but still very beautiful graphics, an open wild world and gameplay, in which an important role is assigned to the ability to tame gigantic monsters and use them for your own good. Worms 2: Armageddon. In the wake of porting cult games from PC to Android, it would be surprising and even insulting if the famous Worms turn-based strategy was not transferred to smartphones. At one time, she was able to attract attention with unusual mechanics associated with the use of destructible two-dimensional levels, as well as unusual cartoonish drawing. Well, of course, one cannot help but recall the heroes of the game themselves. Militant worms fighting with each other to the bitter end, using amazing weapons like an exploding banana or a kamikaze sheep. Titan Quest. One of the best Diablo-like games, a wonderful isometric action role-playing game that also found a place on Android devices. The graphics of Titan Quest turned out to be quite capable of modern mobile gadgets, and the gameplay and controls were easily adapted to touch screens. The Walking Zombie: Dead City. One of the latest zombie survival games that feels quite comfortable on both PC and Android mobile devices. The gameplay in The Walking Zombie: Dead City is very exciting. It consists of separate aspects: battles, resource grinding, crafting, open world exploration, and so on. And the graphics, slightly cartoonish in style, fit quite well into the overall concept of a comic zombie apocalypse. Resident Evil 4. The game that gave the Re-series a new life, crossing the familiar concept of survival horror, with zombies and other artificially created monsters, and intense third-person shooting where every mistake can be fatal and lead to the death of the character. An excellent choice for porting from a computer to Android. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. An energetic slasher from the Metal Gear universe, which unexpectedly fits well on Android devices. The graphics turned out to be slightly worse than in the original, but all other elements, and first of all the furious fights with robots, turned out to be without significant changes. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, watch our other videos, press like, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today.